but the risk is in your head, Mr. IFA. This is what I told an IFA at the end of a fact sheet reading class. Because he came to me and said, you taught us trainer ratio, you taught us standard deviation, you taught us Sharpe ratio, you taught us deviation, and you taught us reversion to the mean. Now, what is the measure that I should use to talk to a client? Fair enough. Welcome to subramani.com. We're going to talk a little about risk and the client's appreciation of the risk. So really, where does the risk lie? Which is the ratio which is important for the risk to be understood, and which is the ratio that the IFA should be, which means a financial consultant should be talking to his customer. And like I said, if the risk lies in your head, how do you handle that? So I told him the risk is not in the paper that is lying, it lies in the head of the client. So let me give you an example, or let me tell you the example that I gave him. Suppose you have been, we'll have to go a little back in time. Suppose 2009 or 2008 to 2018. You have had a very good run with a fund, and that fund has given you about 13% CAGR, which is you consider it to be very good. You know that you couldn't have expected anything more, and you realize that this is like having a PPF on steroids. The thing is, this return you got without any great standard deviation, and therefore you ignored standard deviation, right? Standard deviation didn't matter. How does it matter as long as you're getting 13% return over 10 years, and that's compounded, grown your capital very well. So all of you were very happy. You know that 27% return could have been even better, but then you know not to crib about a 13% return when PPF was around 9% or less than that, right? Over a period of time, it went from 9 to 8. During this period, you got 13, and you were very happy with it. But let us assume for a minute that most of the return was back-ended. Let's say 16% and 15% happened in 2017 and 2018, which means people who came in 2016 believe that you're some kind of a magician and you give fabulous returns for people because you chose a very correct fund, and that's the kind of return that you got. And for many people, and even for you as an IFA, 25% of the funds were lying in this fund, which naturally happened. You shifted people from other funds here, etc., etc. That is when sometime in 2018, one lady came to you, and she's a retired school teacher, and she said, all my money I have put elsewhere, but I want you to put money into that fund which my neighbor has put. And so you said okay. And she came in, and for 5 months she got very good returns. She got double the return that she would have got in a bank deposit, and that's it. She was thrilled with what happened. However, after that the returns started falling, and sometime in 2019, which was a disastrous year, the return fell and it became 89,000, which means she got minus 11,000 from her capital, and about actually minus 16,000 because it had already gone up by about 5,000 rupees, 5% also. So which means she saw a huge fall. In her head, it is a 16,000 rupee fall which she saw. And in 2020, the fund did nothing, absolutely nothing. So it remained there, and she was at 89,000. It became maybe 86,000, 87,000. So not too much of a fall. Then she found that this company is also invested in a company called Manpasand. This fund had invested in a company called Manpasand, and Manpasand money was not in great shape. So that got her more worried. She started reading one more newspaper. Remember, she was a retired school teacher. And then she came back sometime in 2021, and after all her deductions or whatever, she got something like 84,000 rupees. And the pink paper which she was reading told her that if she had not done this misadventure, she would have got 1,18,000 rupees in the bank, because she was, remember, she was now a senior citizen also. So, well, that's what happened. It didn't end too well, but sometime in 2021 end or 2022 beginning, you had another Mr. A who was this Mrs. School teacher's neighbor, who came to you and said, wow, thanks, I got a fantastic 34% return in 2021 itself, and here it is, and I got a 16% CAGR over a 14-year period. Well, what happened? It was the same standard deviation, same trainer ratio, same Sharpe ratio, right? Everything remained the same. How did it react? How did each person react to it determines how much risk is there. What goes on in your head is far more important than the numbers out there. If you must, the way I define risk is how you react to the standard deviation, not just the standard deviation. Standard deviation will be there, the average will be there. I mean, there will always be a Rahul Dravid with a high average and a low standard deviation. There will always be a Shahid Afridi with a low average and a very, very high standard deviation. The question is, how do you react to that standard deviation, which is more important. The probability of an event happening is what a standard deviation can tell you. When standard deviation is low, it means the probability of the event happening is higher. So, in PPF, the standard deviation is almost non-existent or 1, and therefore, you know that you will always get a similar rate. So, 7.15 or 7.05, whatever, that will be the rate which you will get. Yes, it can decline every quarter, they can make the changes, that's a different thing, but yeah, the standard deviation would be very low. In equity, standard deviation will always be very high. So, how do you handle standard deviation? So, the skill does not lie in just measuring the standard deviation. The skill lies in being able to communicate to the client that when the standard deviation is high, please understand, equity returns will be violently fluctuating. You have to have the ability to sit through the bad times. No point in cribbing and saying, if I had sat in a bank account, what would happen? Too late. You've already done it. You've already put money in equity. You will not remove it during a panic, right? Now, did you panic in March 2020? Did you sell? Which means you are not ready for that kind of standard deviation. That's all. It does not mean market did anything wrong. If you panicked in March 2020, there are two things you can do. One, increase your knowledge about standard deviation and understand why equity gives good returns. Equity gives good returns to those people who have the guts to sit through a very difficult period. Equity gives good returns to people who during that tough period had the guts to invest. In spite of everybody saying don't catch a falling knife, the worst is not yet over, the coronavirus will not go away in a year or two, don't buy. But then in the month of April, thanks to Fed and other central bankers liquidity infused, the market just did a V-shaped recovery in April. I'm not even saying that is good. In fact, I think it is bad. Some of the worst thing that happened to Indian real estate, especially in metros, is the kind of boom that happened. And after 2011, people have just not made money in real estate. The place where I stay, I saw a deal in real estate happen at exactly the same prices in 2020, which happened in 2015. So 5 years, no appreciation. This thing will also happen. Right now, equity is on a bull ride. Let me repeat, equity is on a bull ride. One day, equivalent to real estate, equity will also remain stagnant for a 5-year period. Luckily, in equity, unlike in real estate, you can buy in small lots. So you can keep buying at 5,000 rupees a month, and or whatever you have, and therefore average and therefore improve your return. Now, all this is nothing to do with the numbers that you see. This lady, who was a school teacher, knew about standard deviation. The IFA had told her but she decided to panic, right? So if you panic, standard deviation hurts. Standard deviation always there, but if you panic, it hurts. If you don't panic, it doesn't hurt. If you think of it as a temporary loss, you will do well. If you think of it as a permanent loss, you will panic. So understand what you are doing. That is far more important than in knowing whether you should use strainer ratio or Sharpe ratio. Thank you.